Thank you for taking the ride on the Freedom Train podcast series. I'm your host, Joseph Ward, and as always, riding with me is my good homie, Mr. Patrick Irvin. Remember, the Freedom Train is brought to you by PAX Inc. That's PACTSINC, and PAX Inc. is a black development organization aimed at developing the black community to its maximum potential through a focus on education and economics with a trace of hard work, honesty, and integrity. For more information, make sure you go to the website and you visit www.pactsinc.org. That way you can learn more about the organization, about the members of the organization. Click on that tab that says the Codes of Conduct so you can learn about the 12 Codes of Conduct for Black America that PAX Inc. have created. You can also click on the other tabs, especially the educational tab, so you can learn more about the educational services and the information that PAX Inc. has for you. Make sure y'all visit the Freedom Train website at www.freedomtrainradio.com. That way you can learn more about myself, Joseph Ward. You can learn more about Patrick Irvin, J.A. Zonic. And remember, you can catch our weekly lineup on the Freedom Train. Remember, every Monday you get the Fixed Sports Podcast. Every Wednesday you get the Freedom Train podcast series, as well as the live showing of Office Hours with Professor Carlton Jones and Erica Tobert. Every Thursday you get Lessons from the Screen with Patrick Irvin as he breaking down documentaries, movies, and all those good things. Every Friday you get Tea Time, Black Women Talk, as they give you black women empowerment over tea. And every Saturday, you get the On the Shows with James podcast, which is African history at your fingertips and on the go. So remember, www.freedomtrainradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at Freedom Train Net. Follow us on Instagram, Freedom Train Network. Remember to like our Freedom Train Network YouTube channel, as well as subscribe to us on Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play. We out there. We in here. We in this atmosphere. And the Freedom Train Network, we're growing, so follow us. Pat.
On Fridays as well, we got the podcast for Office Hours drop. So for those that prefer the podcast over the live showing, Fridays right along with Tea Time. Black
yeah. So get that. All right, so Pat, what we got?
What up? What's up?
Let's say what we got today. What you think we got? What you think we got today? What you think we got?
What you mean? What I think we got today? Today I'm in the know, homie.
Yeah, you in the know. You in the know. You want to know what? You want to know what we got?
I already know what we got today.
You want to know what we got? You think you know?
I know
what it is.
We got Jasmine Jackson on the train.
Ooh, Jasmine Paints. We got Jasmine Paints. See, now let me set it up for you, Pat. See, I was at this event called the Melanin Fest last year, 2017, right?
Okay.
A guy named Apollo put on this event in Tallahassee called
Apollo, like Showtime at the Apollo?
Showtime, right?
Okay.
And so I'm up in the event.
Okay.
And I got my booth up, got my books up. I think I'm cool, right?
Okay.
Right, I'm set up and I think I'm cool. And then
too smooth.
I see these ladies come in, they start setting up, right? And so I'm like, as every time they put down a piece of art, my cool drop a point, right? And I'm like, I had a little button on my shirt, so I unbuttoned my button so I could feel sexy a little bit. Then she brought another piece of art, and there's like these bodies. It was like these bodies that were sculpted. I buttoned my shirt all the way up and put my jacket on.
She turned you into the school nerd on.
You can't look at, man, my chest didn't compare, so I'm like, oh, man. But what it was some of the dopest art I have ever seen in my life. She's taking images from my childhood and their own paintings, their own hats, their own shirts, their own all different types of things. So
now,
I'm
wait. Now,
what
when
you
you
mean?
say your childhood, which part of your childhood? The old part, the ancient part, or the baby part?
Well, in between the ancient and the baby part. In between that.
Okay. I'm with you. Keep going.
In between that. And so I'm like, man, this young lady got mad skills. And then I saw this Andre 3000 picture, right? And he like tilting his hat to the ladies, and it's like I had to buy me a copy of it, so I got me one. I support it, but she has some of the dopest art I have ever seen. Just taking images that we would see from our culture, recreating them. Also images from our childhood, recreating them, putting them on shirts, hats, putting them within her paintings and everything. So we welcome them to the Freedom Train, one of the dopest artists ever out here, and y'all better support Miss Jasmine Jackson, a.k.a. Jasmine Paints. Put your hands together.
Hey, y'all. That was quite an introduction.
Hey, you gotta get it right.
That was quite an introduction.
You got to get it right. We travel, so if you want us to, we travel with you too. So all you gotta do is just give us some food, and we'll be there. So,
okay, I got you. A little plate.
We bring our own food.
Legit, though, like I was telling you when we were doing our thing before the show started, I went to the website. For those that don't know, JasminePaints.bitcartel.com. And you'll be able to find it when we link to the show. But I was looking at stuff from Johnny Bravo, Rugrat, Bebe's Kids, Dragon Ball Z, Dexter's Lab, Courage the Scary Dog. It was all there, and it wasn't just there. You got the Fly Paint and the J. Cole, the Jay-Z, the Missy Elliott. You just had.
Thank you.
You got some dope stuff going on here that Yeah, y'all definitely need to go check this out. This is dope.
Thank you.
So Pat, you got the first question, man. Let's go ahead and kick this interview off.
Okay, what we got?
All right. So you know what it is. As always, when we get people on the show and they on a level of cool, but our audience, they might not be there yet. They want to be cool too. So just give them a little bit of information about who you are. Who is Jasmine Jackson?
Well, Jasmine Jackson. Well, I'm just a regular old person. I enjoy art. I'm been a full-time artist for a little over a year now, and I don't know. I just wanted to do what I wanted to do, as opposed to working for someone else. And art is me, I would say. That's who Jasmine Jackson is.
How did you become that, though? What was your inspiration?
Growing up, my parents let me express myself a lot. Without them, I don't even think I'd be the person I am today. But they let me express myself through, whether it was school plays and art class, but in my bedroom they let me decorate it and paint on my walls and everything. So that's where it kind of rooted from. And then I didn't start painting on canvas till after I graduated college. I just wanted something to do. I actually wanted to decorate my apartment, so that's how it started.
Okay. And now that's cool though, because it's like you taking something that you've always loved and being able to, like you say, become a full-time artist in it, but just taking it to the next level, and other people are appreciating your art. So that's special. And where did you find the courage to kind of take that next step to say, all right, well, this is something that I want to do full time? How did you get the courage to take that step?
I feel like life just kind of lined itself up perfectly for me. When you start praying for stuff and you at a job you don't like, and you just man, I really just want to do this full time. One day I just want to do this every single day. Every day I wake up, I would pray for that. And it came to a moment where my job was actually letting go of people, just letting go of people. And they were telling me that my position was going to be cut. So, you know, I got to pick between this and that and this and that. And then my lease was becoming up on my apartment. So I said, man, either I stay in Tampa for another year or I just, like, bite the bullet, ask my parents if I can move back and do art full time. So luckily, you know, I got dope parents. They're like, all right, let's see how you do. If you don't do too well, you got thrown back out there. But doing pretty good.
There you go. You had a chance to sink or swim, and you out here swimming.
I'm out here swimming.
That's good.
Michael Phelps in it. Trying.
That's good. And shout out to your parents for believing in you too as well, though, because you know, said that helps when you're moving on to the next step, and that helps when you want to pursue your passions. And when your parents, they understand and let go ahead, do your thing.
So when somebody orders something from you, you don't have these like backstocked or backlogged or printed out or any like you do.
No.
So you handcraft every order?
Everything, yes, everything. It takes some time, especially like I do these jerseys, and people love jerseys because I put cartoon characters on them. Everybody, but whatever you want on a jersey, I can put it on there, and it takes time. It takes some time, and but I just do it by hand, each and every one of them.
Okay.
No, that's dope. I was asking because when I was looking at the Dragon Ball Z jersey you got with, you know, it's got Vegeta on one side, 7 Dragon Balls on the other side, and you know, I saw the wait time, and then, you know, on top of that, I saw the hand painted jersey. But I know I've talked to other artists who maybe the original template was hand plated, but at this point things are being printed out by a machine or something. So
I haven't met that yet. I would like eventually I will have to start printing them out. Just because it's just one of me, and once they start stacking up, I'm like, all right, your wait time is about 2 months. Your wait time is about 3 months, because it takes time. And not only that, but I'm doing events, and I have paintings to do, and I have hats to do, and I have paint parties to do. It's just a lot. So the wait time can get up there if you don't get in there quick.
Yeah, either that or you just have to start charging people even more.
That too. It's going to go up. The price is going to go up. Go get it while it's hot.
Right. Get that money.
That's true, because these caps is only $25 right now. That's not a lot of money for these hats that I'm looking at.
Yeah, them things take some time. I try to keep it, but I like to keep it at a reasonable price.
Right.
Because, you know, I want people to have dope art and dope clothing and whatever, and not have to go, like, digging in their savings account for it. But at the same time, it's like, all right, Jazz, well, eventually you're going to have to dig in them pockets.
Yeah, I mean, what it is, though, for me, and I'm only speaking for myself, but hopefully I'm speaking for other people who are entrepreneurs and other people who claim to support entrepreneurs, and that is, if it's dope, I should be willing to pay for it. Because think about it, like, these people go into other realms and other areas, and they'll throw a price at it, and they gladly pull that card or pull their money out and pay for it. So for something that you're putting out, that you're putting your hard-earned work in, and it's actually something of quality, they shouldn't have no problem. I'm going to swipe with a smile, because I know that I'm putting my money into something that's valuable. So. Yeah. And I'm supporting somebody that I should support. So
and I mean, it's dope art right now. You know, it's dope. So that's enough. But you know, when the Jasmine Jackson name start popping, you know, you start taxing people just for the name, and they'll be willing to pay it just for the prestige you're having.
When that exhibit come out, shoot now.
Because I'm looking at this power line hat. Kind of heavy right now.
So let me ask you this. So at what point when you were making your art, when you were creating, did you come to the realization that I should sell this?
That didn't come until, like I said, I had moved into my apartment and I wanted to decorate it, but I wanted to be surrounded by myself. Like, I don't know if that sounds arrogant or conceited or something. It's not. It's just I just wanted to. I didn't want to go to Ross or Marshall, anything to go buy art. I wanted to create it, so I would just hang it in my house, and it was just dope to me. Like my apartment was all me, and my friends would come over, and they'd be grooving and chilling. They'd be like, yo, you should sell these. I'd be like, nah, what you mean sell them? No, nobody want this. Like, yo, I definitely buy that one. I buy that one. I'm like, oh, okay. So I just started painting more and then putting it on just my personal Instagram, and people were requesting things. So it just kind of jumped from there. It was like 2015 when it kind of popped off for me.
Okay. That's cool. But and shout out to your friends. That's good friends.
Right. I have some dope friends.
but because look at you now and look at where you are now and what you are giving the world of things that you are producing. So that extra push is always something that a lot of people who are pursuing things and people who do have talents, they like you said, you was just, you know, you have talent, but you just want to decorate your home, but that turned into you being able to decorate other people's homes. So one time for that.
So when you do your art, like, do you have how does the world, well, first I want to ask, does the world affect the way you paint or what you paint in terms of like what's going on in the world or what's going on in your own personal environment, your own personal situation? Does that get into any art that you're selling, or does that make it into art that you just keep in your private collection, or do you even paint about stuff like that?
I actually don't even paint about the world. It's strange. It makes it seem like I don't pay attention to the world. I pay attention to the world, but it doesn't make it into my art so much. I probably pay attention to my own little world and like the music world, hip hop world, black people world.
Right.
But yeah, no like politics or like bombings or anything like that.
Right.
That's cool. Everybody got their lane, and you sound like you found yours.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to be comfortable in your skin and your lane. That's good though that you know who you are. You know who you are, and you're not trying to. You're still not trying to look for yourself and trying to fit into different lanes, and you feel awkward and things. But that's you right there. So.
Yeah. At first, it took a little bit. I had a hard time finding like who Jasmine Paints is. Like, yeah, I paint, but do I have my own style? Like, finding yourself as an artist, as an individual artist, takes a little time. I feel like I'm still finding myself, and as I go on, I'll continue to find deeper levels of myself. So it's all a learning and growing experience.
Now you say you were and are still finding yourself as an artist. So who were some of your early influences, and who are some of your influences now that you kind of either molded yourself after or that kind of inspired you to push forward as an artist?
At first, when I first started painting, I wouldn't say I was influenced by any other artists. But now, since I'm on, like, follow people on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that, I try to follow as many artists, whether they're doing clothing, whether they're doing painting, tattoos. I just try to follow a little bit of everybody just to get some inspiration and motivation. But nowadays, there's this really talented artist named Brianna James on Instagram. She has a huge following. Like, I've seen her grow, and it's, like, so inspiring. So there's her. There's this one girl her name is Distorted. She does dope. Like, she twists. It's different. I don't know what it is. Kind of like anime. Kind of got, like, the 90s cartoons, and then she twists it up and make it real weird. But she's, like, big right now. And I'm like, yo, I kind of watched her, and that's, like, inspiring. And then people that I know personally, there's this dope artist named Raven Lawson in Sanford, and, he's amazing. And he does clothing as well, like printing out clothing and wood carving and everything. So there's just a lot of people that motivate me and inspire me to keep going and create.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
So,
and it's good to be inspired by your peers, too, because I know, like, us within this podcasting realm, look for other people who look like us, for one, and are doing what we're doing. We're doing it at a high level as well. So just being able to see people around you. And that's one of the good things about social media. Social media have more bads than goods, but that's one of the good things is you're able to see the talented people in the world. And whether they know it or not, you know, they're inspiring you. And you really don't know how many people you're inspiring with your art, because, like I say, we keep saying that your stuff is dope. So don't sleep on yourself as far as being somebody who's an influencer and other people are looking up to now. So.
Thank you. I always get like, oh my goodness, when people tell me, you're like, you motivate me to do this, and once you started doing this, I started doing this, and I watch you, and I'm like, wow, people are actually watching me. Because sometimes you just feel like you're just working, and, you know, you're doing your thing, but who's really watching?
Right, right. But, I mean, you know, that's why they say you got to keep moving forward, keep pushing, because you never really know. And if you know you have a talent, you know, you got to bet on yourself in the end. So.
Right.
How do you feel about social media in general? I know Joe just said he feels like it's got more bads than goods. I totally hate social media with a passion.
See,
I was trying to find a better way to say it, but how do you feel about social media, though?
If we talking about social media in the aspect of how it kills person-to-person relationships, or how it kills a lot of stuff, or it's like this make-believe
like
thing. Everybody want big old booties and want to be Instagram models and want to be flashy on the gram, but in real life you're struggling. Like, there's stuff like that I don't like about social media. It's just problems and people in everybody's business. And when you're going to get me started. Relationships, you got a little boo thing over here on the side of the world, and your other boo thing over here on the other side of the world. It's just a lot.
Yeah.
But if you use it for your benefit in networking, and just, like, social media helps me out so much, because people contact me via Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, email. It's just, that's how they get in contact with me. So I appreciate it for that. And it gets my art seen way other places that I couldn't even reach myself.
Oh, yeah. That's one of, like I say, that's one of the pluses of it. And if you stick to that, like I tell people all the time who I know have talent, who are not on social media at all, but are wanting more people to see what they do, just create you something, a little something. You don't have to be big, a little something, so people can at least see what you're doing and put it out there. So.
Right.
So let me ask you this, as an artist, and of course everybody views the world differently, but in my opinion, I think like artists and comedians have some of the most unique views of the world. So as far as your outlook on life and everything, when it comes to art, what is your definition of art, and how do you define, like, the art that you create yourself?
Trying to get all super deep with me now. Well, art is literally everywhere. Everything you see, everything. You can't go a day without seeing some type of art. Something was created that's art to me. But it's basically like how you feel and how you express it. So I could feel angry, and I can express that by throwing some paint on the wall out of anger, and that's art. I could be happy and start dancing and just create a image or a story with my body. That's art. Anything is really art to me. It's like, music too. That's art. Just creating melodies and symphonies and whatever it is. That's art. It's just a feeling rather than like just something you see. It's gonna get a reaction out of you somehow. That's art. Now, what was the second part?
How do you define the art that you create?
That I create? The art that I create, it depends on which art, because if you're talking about my cartoon art, that's kind of my favorite art just because it reminds me of my childhood. And I think my childhood was pretty dope. I think the 90s era, I was born in 91, so I think the 90s is just a dope era with clothing, hip-hop, blackness, cartoons. Like, I can just remember on a Saturday morning just eating a bowl of cereal, watching Rugrats, watching Hey Arnold, which is my favorite cartoon of all time.
Okay, we cool then. We real.
Yeah.
Hater.
Wait a minute.
Hater.
Yeah.
Hey
Arnold was okay. I put it on the same level as like Doug.
You're a Ren and Stimpy fan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not like I ain't say it was trash. It's just it's
Man, what else?
Okay. You ain't what year were you born?
Don't do me.
76.
You already called us. You didn't already call us ancient old babies. We're not going back.
Pat was born in 56.
We're not going back. You know,
he was watching those Little House on the Prairie.
Right, little stick figures.
Hey.
If you went
they
off,
even draw cartoons, really.
Hey, Arnold was a good cartoon. Hey Arnold was a good cartoon.
It was. They were some adventurous fourth graders, and I always had a moral to the story. And he was such a kind kid. It was always a message. That's what I like about it. I don't know what anybody else likes about it, but that's what I like about it.
Well, what about Recess? That had a message, and it had kids.
It did, but I was more of a Nickelodeon fan. Wasn't Recess on was it Disney?
That was that one Saturday morning on ABC.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Joe.
I watched Recess, but I didn't really watch Recess.
Pat, see, you always hate Pat. Yes, I watch Recess every Saturday morning.
It's not about you watching the cartoons. It's the fact that you know the network and the whole name of the time slot they was all on. Like,
Recess was real. About around 9:30, 10 o'clock, Recess was real.
Like, how do you remember, like, oh, yeah, that was one Saturday morning on ABC.
Well, she helped paint the picture with the cereal bowls and stuff, so that helped me.
Paint that picture. Plop right in front of the
That helped me go. See, that's what art is. Pat. You don't get it because you're not an artist like we are.
Hello.
I am an artist. I'm a poet. And she just said, I
was a poet, too. I got a degree in writing. Creative.
Well, there you go, then.
Ooh,
let me ask this because let me ask this. What do you think about the modern hip hop? Not I shouldn't say modern hip hop. What do you think about modern rap music? You think rap is still improving, or how do you feel about that?
I don't really listen because I don't really listen to a whole lot of today's rap because it's really just a nice beat that you can vibe to. Now, if you listen to a playlist of today's music, like hip hop, new kids, like I don't even know the extension. I don't know their names like that. I'm like an old head kind of, but you'll notice that you vibe in your head, you bouncing your head, right? You're like, hey, throw some A's in the song, you vibing, right? And then it be 3 songs in, and you be 3 songs in and don't even know that you 3 songs in because it's like the same beat, and you kind of in this trance of the same beat. I don't like music like that. I like different melodies. I like J. Cole's, and I like Outkast, and just like old stuff.
You was raised right. That's what that means. That's what you was raised right.
Yeah, man.
No, because I've been on this. I asked because you would start talking about art and you were talking about how you like music, and I've been on this binge like the last 3 or 4 months, like really trying to understand what's going on in the minds of these young people and the music they're making. Like, when did it become cool to try to sound like the next guy? When did it become cool?
Right.
This guy got a popping song, so I'm gonna make a song that sounds just like his.
Just like it.
They don't even rap.
They don't have their
more.
own
Like,
individuality.
there are no lyrics, no words. They just
Right.
I was just trying to figure out how that became popping and why the producers haven't just taken over and been like, you know what? I ain't gonna have none of these fast people ruining my beats. I'm gonna just put out my own instrumental CDs and sell those.
Because it's helping them make more money, sadly.
That's the mainstream music, though, because you can find some really good music. Yeah. Like the underground artists, you can find some really good underground artists. But that mainstream...